Rob and Slim Show.
Hello, my darling.
Oh, Steve Coulter.
Yes.
How are you? How was your COVID summer, Steve?
My COVID summer. I built
Sounds like a
lot of
child's
stuff.
book.
Sounds like,
Wait,
a tween
I
series.
gotta ask you. I just saw on Facebook that you guys tased a blow-up doll.
Yeah, and the blow up doll didn't phase. It didn't phase the blow up doll. So I feel like blow up dolls are impervious to tasers.
That's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
So Rob's big thing this season, since the start of season 7 of the Rob and Slim Show, has been that he wants to tase me, Steve, and I refuse to be tased. They're very horrifying.
Yeah, you don't want to get tased. That's one of those things that I think most people would say.
Yeah, most, but I didn't feel like Slim would ever say that. I don't know. I felt like Slim would be like, okay.
You never
Maybe
know,
with
though.
enough
Like, when I was
drinks.
like 28, and I'd probably say, yeah, let's just see what happens.
I feel like if you get to 30 and you've never been tased, you're like, all right, I might as well get tased. So
I'm not gonna lie, and I shouldn't tell him this, but the more he's been doing it every episode since the beginning,
The more
and the
comfortable.
more time that goes on, the more I'm like, I wonder if it's really that bad.
Yeah.
I wonder how it feels. Like, I want to be prepared just in case I ever piss somebody off and they tase me.
That's
At least
it.
I know
cops have to do it in
what
training.
it feels like.
So
Yeah.
I feel like we should have to do it in training to you.
Yes. so I know what you guys have been up to.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it, Steve. Well, what have you been able to hoard, or have you been having trouble getting hold of any supplies?
No, there's nothing. I like that. I see. Years and years ago, when I lived in New York, when I was a struggling actor, I was a carpenter to pay the bills, and I hadn't gotten a chance to do any carpentry for years and years and years, and so that's what I've been doing. Well, not only that, but to keep my sanity, I bought some tools and rekindled my love of woodworking. Doesn't that sound exciting?
Wow. Any dremeling tips?
Any what?
Dremeling tips.
What is trembling?
You never had a Dremel, Slim?
No, I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
what is that?
It's a little thing. It's called a Dremel. It does like little.
It's a little it's a
divoting.
little thing that does little things.
All I know is I got a Dremel and I need an extra hole in my belt, and I got an extra hole in my belt, if you know what I mean.
You dremeled a hole in your belt?
Damn right.
All right.
Damn right.
I bet you did.
Woodworking. So what have you built stuff?
What have you whittled?
Well, let's see. I've made a couple tables. I made a big old potting bench because my wife, girlfriend / lady friend, I don't know what you call her,
whatever.
Mary. She and my son have been doing a lot of plant stuff. So I built them it's a pretty big damn thing.
Wow.
And it's mainly just to blow off steam and get me doing something. Because this is you just go crazy. Cause
I feel like you should have your own furniture.
I know. I was gonna say I want to buy Steve Coulter furniture.
Steve Coulter,
as long as you sign it for me, make me a chair or a
Dremel your
coffee
name in
table.
it. Yeah.
I should make you guys something and ship it to you.
Yeah, that'd be
Just a
amazing,
little something.
Yes. Yes.
If you think of something you'd like, you just
Ooh.
let me know and I'll make it.
How about like wooden versions of us, like little like tiki
do some
dolls?
Sculpture,
Yeah.
wooden sculptures.
I think that crosses some kind of state law.
with COVID bringing us to a screeching halt, Steve, have you been able to resume acting?
No, not at all. I wrote a script. Did I ever tell you guys I used to write for Tyler Perry?
Yes.
I think I told you that.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
So, and I haven't really written a whole lot in the last couple of years. So I wrote a thriller script, and they're trying to sell that thing. But yeah, no acting. I did a thing. It's what's his name? John Podesta. Not John Boyega. Not John Podesta. That was the chief of staff. John Bodega from Star Wars. He did it's like a, I don't know what you call it. In the old days, it would have been a radio show, but it's an 8-part, like podcast drama mystery thing that we did. It was really weird because we had to do it like a Zoom recording. They shipped special recording equipment to us. Wow. And we did we're all reading with each other. One of the guys from Glee, I think. And that'll come out at some point. But that's the only acting I have done since. Wow. Good Lord. 2019.
I figured it picked up. Wow.
I was just going to say, Steve, that's called a audio drama.
Ooh.
Get with the
audio
times.
Drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It started, apparently in Georgia, I heard that there's 20 things going to be shooting in the next month or so, but I have not read it. But I've started, there were no auditions over the summer, virtually, hardly any. Wow. And but that's kind of starting to pick up. But
more importantly,
now it looks like there's a second wave coming, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Steve, did you say you wrote a thriller script and you kind of were just what was that?
Well, I did because I'd written a few pilots for TV, and then right before, when I talked to you, the time before I talked to you guys, I was in L.A. driving around, lost, and it was right before COVID, the whole shutdown happened, and I was talking to my agent, and I said, I'm actually thinking of writing just something for fun that we could sell instead of some, and I'd never written a thriller. And so I watched a bunch just to get an idea of the kind of format and stuff and what mistakes people make and what not to do. But then 2 months went by, my agent called, she goes, how's that writing coming? And I went, well, I only have one idea for one scene at the end. And I said, I don't write well without a deadline. Because that's one thing at Tyler Perry, we always had a deadline every
Yeah.
So if I don't have a deadline, I kind of, like most people, I diddle-daddle.
Yeah.
So she said, okay, I'll give you a deadline. I'll give you 18 days. And so I sat down and wrote it. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's amazing, though. Yeah, I do hear that. If you don't have that deadline, if you don't have that day you need it done by, you're not gonna do it.
Yeah, it's just I'm not one of these. If I wrote for a living, I'd probably write every day. But since I'm used, the pressure helps, and so
Yes.
I have a great little place in my house to write, and I outlined the whole movie in a few days, and then I just wrote. It was a lot of fun. Because it's weird with the thriller, it's kind of like math. You got to set up all these things that have to pay off, or you plant a little bit of information that, at the very end of the movie, you come back to that. And It's also fun to play with expectations because you think, I want the audience to think, well, this is going to happen. And then you do something else, you follow what happens. Because one of the things I found in watching thrillers, you always go, what's going to happen. It's kind of a horror thriller. And so I wanted to, be able to outwit the audience. But that's tricky because you got to sort of outwit yourself.
Right.
And you can make a mess and you need towels if you outwit yourself.
Yeah, or a taser. You might need a taser.
What,
or a taser.
Of all that, during your research where you watched all these thriller movies, what thriller movie was did you draw most of your inspiration from?
The one I liked the best, it surprised me the most, was one it came out about 4 years ago, called Hush. Have you seen it?
I love Hush. Yeah, I saw Hush. Hush is very
great.
good.
And it's short,
very good.
And it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And I put a lot more humor in mine just because that's what I sort of like to do, because it doesn't take itself so seriously. And but Hush I thought was great.
Can I'm gonna tell Rob, because he hasn't seen Hush. I'll tell him what the synopsis of that is. It's basically this serial killer who he goes to these houses and fucks with these people, and the one person he picks happens to be deaf. So he's fucking with this deaf lady, and it's just played out very, very well. Of that, she can't hear anything, so he's trying to get her attention, and then realizes later on, oh, she's deaf, and then kind of plays to that. But it's a very good movie.
It's really done. Yeah, it's done really well, and I just sort of like how it's. And one thing that I realized that with a thriller, you got to just be merciless with your hero. Just take. Because it's the name of it is Bad Things Happen, because it's about a woman who just sort of a lot of us think if you get a phone call, oh, it's from the boss, you're going to get fired, or I'm going to get, it's going to rain. And she always thinks the worst is going to happen, so she's sort of always over preparing, and people make fun of her. but here on this, they go on this weekend trip, and literally the worst possible thing happened over and over and over again.
Oh,
So
wow.
she's finally got it justified.
She
But yeah,
finally
it's kind of fun.
gets tested. What how did The Hunt do, Steve? Did it do okay in like VOD and DVD sales?
I imagine, because there's a lot of stuff I hear from a lot of people, and I don't know like any actual numbers, because it's a whole new model. It's like with box office, you can look that up, and
Yeah.
video on demand, and we'll see if residuals start pouring in. I think it did pretty good, considering the circumstances that caused it to be delayed and canceled. And
That and
so I think
people
it did
wanted to
good.
see it, and I mentioned it to one of my friends, and he was like, "Yeah, that was an awesome movie." So like, I know that. I know I picked it up on DVD when it came out, like the first weekend. So yeah, I was hoping.
Yeah, I hope it does well, because it was fun. Yeah, I might just. Well, you know what it's like. It's like I think a human being needs to be doing stuff, and when you're just sort of sitting around and watching movies, and my brain just starts eating itself. And
Yeah.
I gotta be. I may write. I have an idea for a TV show that I may start writing if this thing goes on any longer.
Nice.
Because I've seen everything on Netflix, I think. And
Did you catch up on Walking Dead?
no.
Wow. See, I was gonna ask if you had any predictions for this season, because they announced that this is the last season.
Walking Dead for Steve ended when they killed off his
Yeah,
character.
but I'm thinking my prediction is they bring Steve back, because
Yeah.
like Aaron's gonna kill Beta, that's
Right.
for sure. We know that is gonna happen, and I feel like he had a friend who was an ex-football player named Stove Coulter.
Ooh, Stove Coulter?
And
All
they're
right.
going to bring you back to wreak vengeance on
That's-
everybody.
I like Stove Coulter.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. No, I'm pretty good, because I didn't watch the end, like the second half of the last season. Like, what's her name? I know the head whisperer, she got killed or something.
Yeah, Alpha.
And,
she's
but and yes, I may
done.
catch up. We'll see.
Yeah.
Actually,
Right.
once Rick left, it was sort of like,
wow.
I didn't care as much. Rick was my favorite character.
And it's weird because
Wow.
like his comic book was all about the story of Rick Grimes.
Yes.
So for the
Yeah.
TV series to be like, all right, we're done with Rick, it's different, because a lot of the stories built up to like his character.
Yeah, but you
know?
got Negan.
Yeah.
Negan is all you need.
Negan's
all you
amazing.
need. That's biblical.
Yeah. And they said that, like, what's her name? Daryl and Carol are going to get their own spin-offs
Yes.
after this stuff.
Yeah, I heard that. So it's probably
So
not.
they
Probably not the end.
got a lot of money.
Oh, wait. Steve, you've been watching a lot of stuff on Netflix. Did you watch Cobra Kai?
No, I haven't gotten to that, and it's weird because there's a lot of friends of mine are in it because they shot it in Atlanta, and it's really kind of funny because hardly anyone had really seen it. But then once it went to Netflix, it became a huge hit.
I haven't gotten a chance
And-
yet, but I want to see it.
I heard it's really good.
It's amazing.
Which is interesting.
It does a good job of being a sequel to the first Karate Kid and really building on that rivalry between Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso.
Oh, cool.
What is P Valley, Steve? I saw you were a part of that.
I think you guys would like it. It's intense. It's all about a strip club in Mississippi called what's it called, Pink, and P Valley is based on a play called Pussy Valley, but they weren't allowed to say Pussy Valley on Starz. Even though in the opening credits, it's very clever. They show the neon sign and the USSY blinks out, but you see it for a minute because it's based on a real place that's in, I think, Memphis, I believe. There's a whole bunch of strip clubs, so they call it Pussy Valley. But the odd thing about it is it's all the director, the creator, all the directors, the writer are all women. So it's not like objectifying women, but it is intense because it's a strip club and it's a little soap opera-y, but it's actually really good. It did really, really well. Like every critic that reviewed it said it's just amazing. and it's a lot of fun. And we'll come back for another season once everything calms down. And but I'd recommend it. It's good. It's funny and it's weird. One of the main characters is like this cross-dressing guy who's he's the manager of the club named Mr. Clifford, and he's the one that all my scenes, and I did like 3 episodes, and all my stuff is with him because it's sort of like almost a father-son relationship because he's constantly pissing me off, but I'm not your typical Southern, redneck sheriff. He's like a pretty nice guy, and he kind of likes this guy, even though he's so odd. But yeah, you should check it out. You might in the head writer. She even joked that you might need to put captions on because she writes in slang, and some of the stuff is like I had lines that I had to really ask her, "What am I saying?" Wow. Because she doesn't talk down. Like you got to really rise. It's like from the small corner of Mississippi, she writes in that slang, so it's pretty it's pretty foul. But funny, and it's not like anything you've seen on TV, I can promise you.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And like you mentioning that, sometimes I prefer to have subtitles on. Sometimes I do.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that for there's some Irish movie I watched, and I was like, I can't understand what they're saying.
Is it Snatch?
I kept reading.
Snatch is like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
What was his other one? Smoking.
But you might. Some people have put on the captions, so you might want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Yeah.
Nice.
But I'm looking forward to acting again because I can only build so many side tables and.
Yeah. So
just do a YouTube, man. Just do like a YouTube show.
That sounds good.
Yes, that could be funny. Well, it's really weird that my wife and my son is 11. He just got hooked into plants this summer, and they've been doing these plant sales on weekends. It started off as just sort of a fun thing. They make like a couple $1,000s a weekend.
What kind of plants are those?
They buy plants that they find a little cheaper, then they fix them up, repot them, and sell them like a yard sale kind of thing. And
wow,
my little 11-year-old, he's made like almost $2,000 in the last month.
Can my kids come down there? My kids are charging me money. They want Fortnite skins, and
there you go.
I want them to go to plant camp. Wow.
That's great. It's funny. My house is filled with plants, so it's a little kind of crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, people are doing a lot of it. I don't know if you guys have noticed. If you guys have done this, this is not connected to that. But I've gotten in touch with friends I haven't talked to in years.
No, I've cut them off.
Oh, that's right. You're antisocial.
Yeah. Video games and this. This is as social as it gets.
Video games, and I've been doing plants too, Steve. I got herbs.
He does.
I got 3 herbs.
Oh, I bet you. Oh, yeah.
He's a chia garden.
Program. Yes.
I just got herbs sitting on my windowsill. I got some basil, some mint, and some parsley that I bought at Walmart. And I just have
there you go.
Sitting
That's
up.
all you need.
Yeah.
Just having a little ravioli. Go over and get some parsley.
That's it.
Little Chef Boyardee.
I had some tortellini yesterday, and I snipped off some basil leaves and threw them in there, and it was tasty.
There you go. That's life on the edge. I'll tell you. It's like you're like Hunter Thompson.
Right?
You gotta slow down, Trigger. My God. I want to read your memoir. Go ahead, you do need to get tased.
No,
I was just going to take it out.
I prefer not to.
You read my mind, Steve. You read my mind.
Just do it on the air. That's what I think.
Well, that was the plan, but I don't think I'm going to do it. It's very scary. I don't think I want to get tased,
It'd be sad if
Steve.
like you had like a reaction and your heart stopped and you died.
That's the only thought I had. I was like, oh my God, what if he dies? But if he says he's gonna, I gotta do it.
Yeah, that's true. That's like, and it would be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun for people to see.
I don't know why I can't just tase Rob. Why do I have to be the one that gets tased?
Because I bought the taser.
Well, you should tase each other.
Yeah. Who said I wouldn't?
Who's ever the fastest?
The fastest.
I do like a tase draw, like 1, 2, 3 draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. And make it a wagering thing.
Oh,
I'll put money on that.
I feel like that's the next presidential debate that happens. Like, it should be a draw. It should be like.
Oh, I would have loved
draw.
that taser last night.
Oh my God! Did you watch that? I couldn't turn away from it.
I almost turned it off, but I couldn't stop. At first, it was like, oh my! It was just like, oh, look what our country's turned into.
Yes, I was like ready to turn it off just because I felt so bad just because it was so disgraceful, but I wanted to see what was going on. I wanted to see.
I don't know what. Yeah, the next time we talk, who knows what. This country may be on fire.
Yes. I feel like I feel like we're kind of fucked either way. Like right now, we are just. I don't even know. But is the next one, Steve? Is that the vice presidents? The next debate?
Yeah. Next, I think it's Tuesday or something. That should actually be interesting because Kamala Harris was a prosecutor, and I remember watching her like at Senate hearings, and she's a tough cookie. She knows how to. Yeah. So that should be, and I don't think old Mike Pence is he's not the smartest apple in the basket.
He's a bit of a cuck, if I'm correct with that.
Yeah.
But I just love who was that? The actor who played Black Panther. He's the one that got her.
Oh, that died.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman. Yes, he got her. I feel like he was trying to get her in that position. So
yeah.
I feel like he's the one that really got attention to her. So like, I feel like this is gonna be the best.
When we lost him, that was like, oh come on, no. Like, a lot of good people have died this year. Let's talk about dead people and sadness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whee!
I can change the subject.
Well,
I was curious, Steve. I was just gonna ask you because my prep for your interview is like I'll bring up Steve's IMDb or whatever it is and go through it. And I noticed I don't know if we had brought it up before, but you were in Founder, which I thought was a great
we did
movie.
with Roy Kroc. Roy Kroc.
Just very briefly, just one little scene, but it was fun. And that movie didn't do that well, but it's a good movie.
Yeah, I still never finished it. But
I never got
to
see it, but I wanted to, and I just remember, I was like, "That's cool that you were in that."
Did
you have any interactions with Michael Keaton?
No, I met him, but my scenes were with the guys who what do you call it? Founded it. Well, the real founders of McDonald's.
Right.
I met him right as I was leaving, and I'd finished shooting. He was coming in. I got to meet him real quick. But I really enjoyed that movie. I'm in it for like 3 minutes.
That's a
and I always forget I'm in the damn thing. I know what I didn't tell you about. This is maybe I did. It may have been coming on that. What was it called? Escorts in the Sky or something? High something. Oh, the Mile High Escorts. That's it. Mile High Escorts. It was a Lifetime movie, and it was not the best thing. Well, it's weird because it's made by these guys. There's a little company in Kentucky, and they used to be from LA, and they set up a production company, and they make like 4 movies a year. They shoot them in like 2 weeks. Really great guys. And then they make these movies, and they sell them to like Netflix, Lifetime, and Hallmark. And when I made it, it was like it had a different title, but Mile High Escorts, as my wife said, she goes, "That sounds like porn."
Yeah.
And it's not, but it's about this company that does these escort service and this murder. And I played a guy who owns the company. He's this very supposedly good guy, but he's a pimp. When it comes down to it, I was watching it going, I'm a pimp.
So they didn't tell you that. Like that wasn't you didn't realize that's what you were playing until you watched the movie.
Until it was
released. I was like, wait a minute. I thought it was I'm a pimp.
You thought you were like this big entrepreneur, and you were like, oh nope, just a pimp.
No, I'm just look, I was like, I'm really just a pimp. And then I thought my son kills me in the movie. He smothers me or something. But
What was the fucking? Because my mother used to watch Lifetime all the fucking time, and then Rob a couple years ago introduced me to a Lifetime movie that we watched, and we drank and watched it. What was that fucking movie?
Oh my God. I don't know. It was
Bobby? I don't
Bobby.
know.
Yeah, it was Bobby.
Terrible.
They all have similar titles, like Evil Sister or Stepchild.
It's like I don't remember, or I don't know. It was
Yeah,
weird ass.
it was like
Never Tell.
Never tell.
It was Never Tell or Don't Tell or something like that.
Well, I don't drink, but I think most Lifetime movies you could do a drinking game to each one. Yeah, I did years ago when I first started doing TV. When I lived in Georgia, and I must have done about 6 Lifetime movies. They would come here, and they're always based on real life murders. You know, they get some star like Elizabeth Montgomery or Larry Hagman or somebody, and then they do this thing. Yeah, and I played like, oh God. They all had, I think I may have told you, they all had murder in the title, like Perfect Murder with murder in mind, wife, mother, murder. Yeah.
I murdered my murderer.
I murdered my mother and murder.
It's burger murder.
I murdered murder with a murder.
Murder burger.
Murder. But yeah, so and there's always, and they have like, whenever my agent will send me like auditions for Lifetime Christmas movies, and I just always go no.
So you don't even read the script; you just see Lifetime Christmas movie, and you're like, nope, pass.
I'm like,
Sleigh ride, S-L-A-Y.
Sleigh ride. Santa fucked mom, and then dad killed mom because she fucked Santa.
Yeah,
Santa
Merry
murderer.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Everyone's happy.
Merry Christmas.
And everyone's like really attractive, and that I'm not including myself in that number, but the young people in it, they all are very attractive. But you can't really tell the difference between them. And, but I must say, the people I worked with in that Lifetime, they were great. They're all very, very, very nice people, I must say. So,
God bless them. God bless them,
God
Steve.
bless them, everyone.
Yes, one and all.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Steve, for talking to us.
Well, sorry I don't have much news, but if you do, seriously, if you think of something that's not too big that you want me to build, like you want a CD holder.
I do.
Yeah. A napkin holder, Steve. I want a napkin holder.
A napkin. I'll make a napkin holder.
Or a dirty,
Steve, I got a good one. I have a
napkin receptacle.
Or that, but I also have a very bad fruit fly problem right now. Can you build a wooden fruit fly trap?
A flute. You got it. I can hold it in a fruit fly trap.
Yes.
That's it. I'm going to build something, and I'll get an address from you. And when it's done, I'll notify you, and I'll send you it.
Oh,
I will.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Because I have too much free time.
Love you, Steve.
Well, take care, boys.
You too. We will definitely talk soon.
All right. Hang in there. This will be over in a couple years.
Couple years.
3 to 5 tops.
Centuries,
3
maybe.
to 5 tops.
Yeah, but seriously, do take care of yourself.
You too, my friend.
Too, Steve. Have a
Love
good night.
You. See you, Steve.
All right. Bye.
Later.
Cool.